Backwards hat this time, no beanie. Definitely didn't have the energy to wash my hair and go hatless. And my beanie's in the car or somewhere. I didn't want to hunt for it. But this motherfucker was laying on the ground. We got it backwards because we don't want any logos. That's a lie. We don't want this one specific logo of my employer. Definitely don't need that. Even though, you know what is kind of funny, in my wildest dreams, I was like, this is my wildest dreams. And a silly thought that I had, I have to walk back all of these statements. Now, there was a part of me that was like, oh, maybe I'll start a podcast and then I'll get my employer to sponsor it for some reason. Why would they sponsor it? I don't know, but I had that idea. I ain't ashamed of it. I'm a little embarrassed of it, but there's a difference between shame and embarrassment. Am I right? Or am I right? What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Cast Me Outside. I'm your host, Aaron Scholl. Today's date is January 22nd, I believe, 2025. It's 2025, guys. Year of the cheeseburger. Why does it feel like... It feels like both that it's been a long year and both that the year is flying by. It's already 20 days. Christmas doesn't feel that long ago. But here we are in the brave new world. The golden age to some people. I didn't do any research, but I did have some memes thrown in my face of Elon doing the salute. And I'm going to give him... I wish I could hear the speech and the context before and after. But in body language, I can't just start saluting like crazy, but in my brief analysis of the vibe and the body language and the energy behind it doesn't seem like a salute to me. It seems more like a bit of a spaz, like a spazzy awkward moment, which as a spazzy awkward guy I can say that. So that's, if anyone wondered, that's what I think. You can stop wondering. But yeah, another day, another beautiful day. Bright and sunny, kind of chiller work day. Even though at the beginning was tough, man. The beginning, when you're 1 hour in and you're like, oh, I got 7 or 8 more hours of this, it makes you want to grow a pair of balls and walk the fuck out and never come back. But then by the time lunch swings, you can do it. They added breaks into the day perfectly to keep you working. Because man, if you work more than 3 hours in a row, which I'm sure a lot of people do, but if this guy does, my mind goes to some dark places. Mainly just the screw you guys, I quit places. I don't know. I don't really want to talk about work drama. I'll talk about my personal feelings. I'm just kind of saying that to myself to just kind of downshift, because there was a little bit of potential drama at the end of the day. But guess what? Your boy is just a cog in the machine, just trying to get that paper, working for the weekend. It is funny. We listen to the radio and then the music is so contentious, which I get, because if you can't just headphone in through the day, if you have to be unheadphoned, if you have to have your ears open so you can talk to people, you can't just kind of lock in and get your shit done. I get that the music that you listen to throughout the day matters. Mainly on the extreme bad end. If it's music that you extremely dislike, then I get it. We need a little bit of variety, so it's not all the same stuff, especially if that stuff is super annoying to certain people. But yeah, the thing is, it's we listen to the kind of the same radio stations, so they play the same songs, and when the radio does it, it's horrible. But when I'm listening to music, I'm like fixated on 5 songs. So it's like me playing the same 5 songs over and over again. Amazing. I love it. The radio playing the same 12 songs over and over again. Crime against humanity. Take them to court. Get them. Nuremberg trials 3.0. But yeah. And then I don't know. You can tell it's definitely cooled down. It's interesting how everything gets twisted, and then the people who like, I feel like they need to have like a certain amount of social pressure, but once something in the news happens, that can be twisted in a way. I'm being like really vague about it because I don't even know what's going on in the news. I just saw like 3 or 4, like you could tell, posts of political passion, and it's like, okay, I'm gonna empathize with you because I've been in the like throes of political passion, and felt like I had to post something and speak your mind, say your shit. Yeah, it's a little eye rolly sometimes when it's like an entire essay. It's like, oh, this is like juicy. Like I'm gonna save this for later and never go back to it. Right, as someone with ADHD, it's like saving posts and going back to them makes no sense to me. Like I'm never gonna, even though I do it, I do save them, but I never go back to them. Like my one friend was showing me, they had all these different folders that they saved posts to. Like they were actually that organized and going back, and they wanted inspiration for art, so they'd go back to their art posts, or they wanted something funny, they'd go to their funny folder. No, I'll save stuff and be like, oh, this is cool. Like I'm gonna be inspired. Like maybe I'll make content inspired by the post or in parody of the post. That's something. It's like just copy. Don't like steal, but just copy. Definitely in the beginning. Like, I'm all for that. And sometimes they just sorry, why can't I say that? Oh my god, I'm like stuck. They just steal. Sometimes they just steal. Dude, that is just steal is hard. I have to like bob my head up and down. Like I'm okay. We're not gonna say what that's like. Like a bobblehead. There we go. We're family friendly, guys. Shit. All right, not anymore. So I was like big into skateboarding, and there's lots of graphic design in skateboarding. Each deck, they're always making new decks, and a lot of companies would essentially just rip off, like they'd rip off, popular brands and logos, and they do it in their own little twist. Like Lacoste. Dang it, I forget what company. Or maybe it was Lakai. Lakai was sponsored a skateboarder named Eric Costin. And so they made a Lacoste shirt, and they just took the alligator essentially with like very minor changes. And in a similar vein, I remember a board company just having a bottle of sriracha. And the bottle of sriracha, all the text was like changed to like reflect the brand and the skateboarder that they were sponsoring. So it's like, okay, these guys are just taking things and almost copying them. And there was a part of me that like at first glance as a kid was like, oh man, that's kind of cheap. Like you're just ripping something off a little bit. But now like in my wisdom, as I gained wisdom and perspective, I'm like, fuck yeah, just show homage to things. Be inspired by things. Like you don't have to reinvent the wheel every time you build a car. Oh yeah, back to Elon Musk. I don't really know. I think I said my piece. I do have other thoughts about him. Like it is kind of creepy. Putting computers in people's brains is creepy. And a certain amount of power to obviously it does absolute power corrupt absolutely with Elon Musk. Like, we're probably gonna get to see. Time will probably tell. So as much as I love innovation and like people trying to push the boundaries, I also am weary of people who want to put computers in my head. So, and then I guess he lied about video games, about being good at video games. Which, would I do that? No, I'm very humble about my video games. I'm having fun. I'm not winning. Are you winning? No, Dad, I'm having fun. Like that meme. Yeah, obviously, my goal to plan a podcast and have structure didn't follow through with that. I don't know. If you get this far and you have input, let me know what type of subjects or segments you'd like to see. I used to go through the news, and in my attempt to not be like feeding the machine, like the culture war machine, and like just trying to be entertaining and funny, I would look for articles that weren't very politically skewed, that they were a little bit more goofy, off the wall stuff, or simple. So I would do like 2 or 3 news articles, and then, like I said in the episode that I recorded yesterday, I would do advice. I'd find advice on the internet. Okay, give me a second, guys. I need to like cough or take a drink of water. Yeah, I don't know if like a supplement was like kind of halfway down the pipe, but I was feeling very weird and bubbly. I think I dodged a sickness, so that feels good. I've been taking vitamin D. I want to fucking call off work so bad and be sick. I'm like really weird. I hate about lying about being sick. I think I've maybe done it like 2 or 3 times where I was like, I don't feel well, and I like arguably felt fine. I don't like lying about my health because, I think I am psychosomatic enough to be like, to convince myself that I'm sick. To be like, oh, I'm sick. Okay, I need to start feeling sick so my lies are cohesive or congruent. Yeah. So that's like kind of my level of kooky. Like, I don't want to lie about my health because I feel like I'll start believing it, or I'll want to like look for the negative symptoms. It's like, oh, I do sort of feel this way. I'm not being full of shit. I don't know. And then when I'm at work, I'm like, dude, why am I so reliable? Like, I'm reliably late, but I'm also reliably show up. It's like one reliability gets seen as a negative, and the other reliability is definitely a positive, like for my employer. But when I'm at work, I'm always like, well, why don't I call off more? Why don't I do that? I think it's the social pressure. I think it's like the like fear of being rejected, or the people pleaserness in me is like, I fucking show up to a job I hate. Not that I'm not grateful for it, but ultimately it's a job I hate. Isn't that kind of weird? You can be like, oh, I hate this job. Chris Williamson, Modern Wisdom, great podcast. I should listen to that more. But he had a clip that was very interesting, that like there's a level of suck that you will tolerate. And even though your life could be so much better, you're at a level of suck that isn't so bad that you'll actually make a change. And it's like, that's the worst thing, because you'll just slave away, waste all your years at a crappy job that's just not crappy enough to make you quit and actually make a change. So you're like stuck there. Where if the job was crappy enough to quit, you would be doing stuff. You wouldn't be stuck. So that's an interesting thing. And I think this job is definitely that. It's definitely like a level of suck that I can handle. And therefore, not sucky enough to quit. But but I should. Not I should quit. I should have a career path and follow it. I've definitely been a go with the wind type person. But we're not going with the wind. We're setting our course and we're staying on track from this point forward. Like found stand-up comedy. That's huge. That's something that I was able to do for 3 years. Because before, like, I kind of accepted, or before, like, I realized how much of a symptom of ADHD, how much of a symptom quitting or doing things and then getting bored and quitting. Before I realized that kind of getting bored and quitting is a major symptom of ADHD, I would just kind of say, like, I figured it out. I saw the pattern. I'd say, yeah, I could do things for about a year, maybe like a year and a half. Like the first run at this podcast, I did like 60 some weeks in a row. Or, I did 60 some weeks, episodes in a row. I'm sure there was a week off in there. But, and then, I got a girlfriend. The things kind of fizzled out. I wasn't like promoting my show a lot. So it was something easy to fizzle out. But it's like, I did it. I did it for a year and a half. But it was like, that's not long enough, at least with the strategy that I was doing. It's not long enough to really see the fruits of your labor for something like this. So I noticed that pattern. And then stand-up comedy is one of the only things that has broken that pattern or is an outlier. And that must mean that it's actually something that I do find interesting and meaningful. And yesterday it was fine. I did a lot of new jokes, and these new jokes are like very much like kind of gimmicky, kind of corny. I gotta give them a lot more tries to see if they actually ever will feel good. Because it's a performance. I believe that. As much as I love deadpan kind of one-liners, as much as those make me laugh, I think I maybe admire the performers a little bit more. Just because it's like you're being at the effort. I appreciate seeing the effort. That's not to say that someone's well-crafted set or performance that is like this one-liner character isn't also a performance, but like the Robin Williams, even the Bill Burrs is like pretty emotional, and there's a lot of range of emotion and movement. It's not just standing in one place. But yeah, amazing art form. Obviously, I could talk about stand-up a ton, but I do think that a joke didn't get its chance to shine if it wasn't learned well enough to actually perform that joke. If you're just saying it or reading it, you didn't give that joke a chance, so you don't know if you actually did come up with something funny there. But yeah, I don't know. I just suck at the fucking social game of it all. Just trying to like be better. Be better at like sharing things that make me think of people. Oh, you see a meme that makes you think of someone, just share it right away. If it's funny, if it's positive, if it's lame, as long as it's not like weird. And you reaching out and making that connection is a positive. That is something that I truly believe. It's like things are only as awkward as you feel that they are. Like once you start feeling a situation as awkward, it's awkward. But if you can never feel that, it like really, your vibe really does matter. I would say 70%. And then maybe like if someone else is really trying to push that, oh, you're being weird frame on you, then then there's a chance you'll get it. But yeah, it's not like it's not weird if you don't feel weird. But once you start feeling weird, it is weird. So you gotta kind of I don't know how you make things not weird. You just be comfortable with it. Huh. I got myself in a little bit of a thinker when I need to be in a yapper mood. Yapper Dan. That could be a cartoon character or something. Remakes. Someone said they're remaking the Never Ending Story. But there was a part of me that like I watched the Never Ending Story very recently, within the past 6 months, and it was cool. It was fun. I definitely paid attention and watched it. I think I had like other memories. I think it was definitely a movie where I saw bits and pieces of as a kid, but never sat down and took it in. There's a lot of like cool trippy parts. I like movies like that are like, it's story based. It doesn't worry about like reality. It worries about telling the story. And now that I like try and recall it, I just am recalling like certain scenes. I don't know if I can like remember the finer bits. Oh, he saves that girl. Okay. Oh man. I like feel like I have to rewatch it. I just know I've seen it. I'm disappointed that I can't like break it down. But I guess it was 6 months ago, Aaron. So chill your fucking bill. You don't remember a movie you watched 6 months ago. All right, we're doing pretty good. Ooh, sorry, I gotta crack the bones. Crack the bones, it's just go, 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 go. Yeah, we'll see what's up. I remembered one joke that I didn't get to tell on stage. I should actually write that down. I'm actually excited for this joke. I could just say what it is. I'm like, it's something whatever. The setup is, oh, my friend called me homophobic. I was like, how can I be homophobic? I love muffin tops, but I hate muffin bottoms. So if anything, I guess I'm homo agnostic. End joke. End joke as of now. We can add some tags and stuff. This gay, so something about a baker. It's like, oh, dude, it's like, you don't know it, baker, but you make muffin tops and muffin bottoms. So you're gay. You're the thing you swore not to support. Oh, the gay wedding cake. I don't know, man. What does the law say? Can you force someone to bake a cake? Probably not. Is that person kind of douchey for being like, ew? Ew. I'm getting something. So that's probably what that person thought. I don't know. This is obviously old news. The gay baker. It's kind of a meme, but there was a baker somewhere, maybe in Florida. I don't know. This is just this can just be an entire work of fiction for all I care. But hypothetically, there was a baker out there that got asked to make a wedding cake, and when they found out that wedding was for a gay wedding, they said, "No, thank you. I don't want to make that cake." In my mind, in that moment, they probably said, "Ew, cake, gay wedding, ew." I don't know why that's so funny to me. Just being like, ew. It's just such like a simple, silly response to something. All right. Are muffins lesbian cakes. If a cupcake is a gay cake because it's tiny and cute, I don't know. Should I not go there? Should I not enter into the world of homosexuality? Is that a third rail? Something we love to talk about, but you gotta talk about it correctly. Because if you don't talk about it correctly, you're bad. But to that I say, how can I be homophobic? I love muffin tops. But I hate muffin bottoms. So maybe I'm homo agnostic. I think that was a good way to get off this topic. Help me. I'm rambling. I'm talking about controversial topics. I shouldn't. Oh boy. Yeah. You know what I realized in kind of my angst at work this morning? I do need to go to the gym. I need to burn off that energy. I need to fucking move this body. I kind of stepped down from my position at work, which in the transition, I was like, oh, maybe I made a mistake. But it's like, no, I didn't. I'm going to fucking try and work until July. And then I might be one of those fucking YouTube videos. One of those, I quit my 9 to 5. Here's why. So you make that video. I don't know. I've never watched more than a second of those videos. And then 6 months later, you make the quitting my 9 to 5 was the best or worst thing that I ever did. And then boom. If you're okay at YouTube, if you're okay at talking, you should be able to get 100 views off those videos. I'm setting the bar so low. Excuse me, dude. Something is not settled right in the old bowl full of jelly belly. But yeah, my plan is to hard leave the job because then I'll be 4 years in. Oh my God. I need to hire someone to apply for jobs for me. If that's something I hate, if that type of clerical work seems like it'll get me somewhere, but I just can't sit down and fill out another fucking online application, just throw some money at it. You're making money at the job you don't like. Use that money to get you somewhere. I was thinking about that with comedy too, to sign up for festivals or competitions or blah 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 blah. Just the legwork, the unfun stuff. Pay someone to do the unfun stuff. That should be a New Year's resolution. Watch it be December, and I'm like, dude, New Year's resolution. I say I can talk about it all of January, and at milestones. In an attempt to circle back and be like, I'm still on track, because that's kind of staying on track is the theme of the rest of my life. It's popping, man. Now that I got all my computer stuff from Amazon, there's only one package left to come, and it's coming next Tuesday, and then I'll finally have speakers. I've been having to do headphones to hear my computer just because that receiver is so fucking jank. So it'll be nice to get rid of that. I'm going to get a new receiver, be able to plug it into the computer, and I have these nice little desk monitors. Speakers are called monitors in an audio focused workspace. It's weird. It doesn't really make sense, but they're called monitors. And then if you have a screen, it's called a display. Now, just because I learned that in school doesn't mean I should be the weirdo that remembers it and talks that way, because no one else in the world talks that way. If you said monitor to anyone, they would not be like, oh, he's talking about the speakers. They'd be like, he's talking about your computer monitor, the display. So I don't, that is a weird quirk about me. It's if you're like, oh, actually this is called that and that's called this, and even though it's kind of jargon and very niche, I'll take that jargon niche and use it in the real world and be misunderstood. But yeah, Wednesday's been a chill day for me. Would like to check one or two more things off the list, chip away at some projects. If I can do that, that's good. Yeah, feeling good. Hump day. Really, really does do something for you. Really gets you over the hump. I don't know what I'm going to do this weekend. My weekends seem to fly by. I need to really capture them. Because there's so much stuff that I like to do around the house that I don't do, like a ton of social stuff. That's probably because it's cold and it's like I'm tired by the end of the day. But I feel like I'm missing out. So I need to integrate some social interactions, some Saturday night fun where I can, put myself in a situation to network and meet people and not just be a weird guy on his computer all weekend. But okay, cool. Now that's been today's episode. Thank you so much for listening. It's been a lot of fun, but we're done. Gotta run. Thank you this time for your time. And until next time, keep on living and loving. Peace.